My name is Mark Silverthorn, and I'm the social media director of the Ontario Model Soldier Society. Today, we're going to do something a little different. There are very few places in the world where toy soldier enthusiasts can meet regularly to share their passion for the hobby. One such place is Ottawa, Canada's national capital. I am going to introduce you to the Ottawa chapter of the Ontario Model Soldier Society, or OMSS. While there are a number of individuals who are great supporters of the Ottawa chapter, I want to acknowledge Robert Thompson, who is the heart and soul of the organization. Today, I will be speaking with Scott, a member of the Ottawa chapter and a YouTuber. Scott's YouTube channel is called Scott's Soldiers. Scott, what is a four-letter word describing the Ottawa chapter of the Ontario Model Soldier Society?
Club. It's a club of people that share a common interest, common likes, and in many cases, common collecting habits. It really is a club, but not in the sense that it's clubby or stuffy or hoity-toity or anything like that. It's just a lot of people who have fun talking about their passion and sharing their interests with people who have a shared common goal, and that is promoting this hobby. I find that when I joined, I was a bit reticent, a bit withdrawn, maybe a wallflower. And over the time that I've been there, I have found that we have a lot of diverse people from diverse backgrounds, diverse life experiences, and diverse collecting interests. But one thing we have in common is, and I don't want to say a brotherhood, that's the wrong word, because it can be men or women that collect these things. It's just a commonality. We enjoy each other's company. We enjoy talking about our experiences, and we enjoy sharing. And that really is a nice thing.
If I lived in the Ottawa area and I wanted to learn about upcoming events that was being hosted by the Ottawa chapter, where would I go to find that information?
We live in a wired world, so automatically you should be just, pardon the expression, just Google it, OMSS Ottawa, and what you pop up and see is, I think first and foremost, the Facebook page, and they're held on the last Wednesday of every month at a place. And here's a promotion for the restaurant pub. It's called the Barley Mow pub, and it's on Maryvale Road in Nepean, which is a suburb of Ottawa. And they've graciously allowed us to use a back room with tables, chairs, and everything, and actually a large video screen where we show videos on. And we meet there at 7 o'clock on the last Wednesday of the month, or whenever we advertise, because sometimes it'll shift depending on the restaurant's needs. And at 7 o'clock the meeting opens, but people show up generally, I think, about 6:30, between 6:30 and 7, because they're going to go there and have a meal and sit and have, a light dinner with their friends that they haven't seen in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, depending on our personal schedules. And the meeting opens at 7 o'clock, and we actually have an agenda. And that may sound boring, but it's a way to sort of herd cats, because it provides some structure to what we're doing.
Coming for the first time with this private room, is it easy to find?
Yeah, it's in the back of the restaurant. So okay. Yeah, you come in through the front door, keep going. It's past the washroom, so it's right at the back. It actually has a giant sliding door. It looks like a barn door or something like that to close it off. But yeah, if they show up, just before 7 o'clock, that door's wide open, and you just walk in, and don't worry, just introduce yourself, and find a seat where you feel comfortable, and right away people want to talk to you and ask you 100 questions about what you collect, what you like, all those things.
Could you give us an example of where, as a result of you being a member of the Ottawa chapter, you would have learned some information that helped you as a collector?
Yeah, one of the things we like to share is what is coming up on the calendar. Like, everybody has their own trap lines, and because in Ottawa we're spread out, we have a member in Montreal, we have a member out in Pembroke, we have another member down as far as Cornwall. It covers a lot of Eastern Ontario, and so between the members, we have a pretty good idea of what's happening in this part of the province and Quebec, on our hobby. And so if somebody wants to know about a show that's coming up, or about an auction, or about an event that's related to the hobby, it could be a reenactment or something along those lines. That information gets shared immediately, both in-person meetings and online amongst us.
There's all kinds of opportunities to obtain figures at significant discounts.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to buy from a retailer, you're going to pay the retailer's markup. If you're going and you're buying from a secondhand store, again, that's a real hit and miss, and you're going to end up paying, whatever their markup is. So if you're buying from the members, we know what the value of that item is, or we have a very good idea what the value of that item is. And so, you sort of know that's a good price. And often when we're selling because we're downsizing, or we've lost interest in a particular figure or set, and we really just want to get it out of our hands and have it go to a good home, a good showcase. And so I think that when you're looking for figures to add to your collection, a great place to start is the OMSS, whether it be your monthly meetings, or when the OMSS has on parade, or when the OMSS has its annual auction in December. These are great places to find figures. Also, you can put a call out to the OMSS members and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a Fort Henry Guard, William Britton's, between 1950 and 1960." And again, somebody may have that actual figure and be able to either sell it to you. Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll give it to you because they just want to get rid of it. And so that's a real benefit to membership.
I think if you're participate in the Ontario Model Soldier Society, you're going to learn about a lot of toy soldier collectors who have passed, and their widows are looking at liquidating their collections. And so there may be all kinds of opportunities to purchase some figures that are typically going to be below market value. There's a myriad of ways that someone who's participating in the Ontario Model Soldier Society is going to be able to obtain figures at very reasonable prices.
Yeah, you're going to get first crack at them because of your previous membership while you were alive, and your surviving spouse is going to be thinking, well, that's the first place I should go to try and unload this stuff before they either haul it to the corner in the recycling bin, or try and pawn it off to an auction house or an antique dealer, if that's the case. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And I talked about this in a video I did. I think it's number 58, Tales from the Graveyard. And you're right. Hidden in there is an added benefit that if you wanted to start downsizing your collection, there's no better way than through the membership of the OMSS. I mean, for $40 a year, the price of what, half a dozen Starbucks, you get access to this membership, and you may find that they're there to help you to help them, and it's a great way to move these items. When you pass on, ideally, I think you should do it beforehand, but if that's the way things work out.
You look very young, Scott.
I think that's part of it. As people get older, you start hearing about these, so and so passed on, and his wife called and wondered if, we'd be willing to take a look at the collection. And, there's obviously some people are going, yes, can't wait to get my hands on that. Other people are like, I can't bring anything more in my house or my wife will kill me. And then you guys will have to deal with my collection. So, it's kind of a mixed, story or blade there. But the thing is that you're right. Membership has its rewards, and both in the Ottawa chapter and in the OMSS in general, it just gives you unique access that you would probably not be able to find on your own. And I think it's just an opportunity missed by not joining.
So let's talk about learning skills that are related to collecting toy soldiers. Things like painting model figures, building dioramas, and potentially 3D printing.
Yeah, there's a lot of unique skill sets within the hobby, and certainly within the OMSS. There's people who do 3D printing, which is, a couple of years ago we would have called it cutting edge, but now it seems more common. But they do that sort of thing, and I think that's a part of the hobby that still has to flush itself out. I think as 3D printers become more affordable and they trickle further down into society, you'll see more people doing that. But those are going to be like resin figures. But it's something that you could do in terms of adding to your metal hobbies or your metal figures. If you wanted to do a 3D printing of ammunition crates or jerry cans or animals or something like that you wanted to add to a diorama, that I can see that becoming more and more part of the hobby and at an individual level versus having to go maybe to a library or a commercial outlet to get a 3D figure done. On terms of painting, man, everybody's a painter. It's just how good or how bad you think you are. And I'm somewhere around poor to below average. Some painters are phenomenal. And I know that some of our members actually will do painting for other members. And I think that's incredibly, incredibly gracious of them because that takes time, resources. But it's something that anyone can do.
Well, I've commissioned Frank McCoy in Toronto to paint 50 cows for me, 1/30th scale cows, and he's doing an excellent job.
That's a herd. That's not a cow, that's a herd. But that's what I mean. There are some people who can do it and are very good at it. And they often, if you ask them, they may be willing to do it for you. But I think it's an untapped part of the hobby that if you can get a casting, because castings are often much, much cheaper than a painted figure, you can practice yourself. And if you're using water-soluble paints, if you don't like it, you just run it under the tap and it comes off and you start over again. And it's something that I'm trying to do, and I've tried to do on a number of occasions. And I think it's a good way to, find a way to diversify yourself within the hobby. And the other thing is castings. It's kind of a lost art here. It was something that people probably did back in the 50s and 60s, and I can't see myself doing it, having the ability to melt an alloy and then pour it into a mold, and then whether it's a drop mold or a centrifugal mold. To me, it's a lot more work. And unless you're really into mass production, and then you'd have to paint them, it's something that escapes me. But some people do it. And
So let's talk about the Ontario Model Soldier Society and fostering an appreciation for military history.
oh, I remember I was talking earlier about information that you can get from members. And one of the things is that obviously we're interested in history.
So if someone sort of lives in the greater area and they have an interest in toy soldiers, Scott, what is your what are you saying to them?
I'm saying take the time, come out, put your foot in the water, see what you feel. If it feels good, stay. If you're not comfortable, come and participate online if that makes you feel more comfortable, because we provide you with that access as well. But come on out and try us on for size. I think you'll find that we are your friends. You just haven't met us yet.
That's it. All yours.
Time to go.